We're here again tonight with a hell of a show, I should think. We've got a man that you all have been asking about for the last year, almost. And this is Mr. Dick Gregory, who is in town for the Bronner Brothers 100th show, or what is it, 1,000th show. It doesn't matter.
100,000 people here.
100,000 people. Dick Gregory, welcome down to Pat again. I'm happy to see you. Happy to see you,
Dick. You look so well, brother.
Well, I'm eating good. Let's put it like that.
All right.
We're going to talk tonight about. We can talk about a whole lot of things.
But first, let me do something.
Wait, we're going to have. Let me say this. We're going to have 2 or 3 episodes tonight, next Sunday, and possibly the Sunday after next. One of those Sundays, we're going to talk strictly about health and food. That's what you mostly want to hear. And of course, tonight we're going to talk about O.J. Simpson and a few other things. All right, Dick?
That's right. But first.
That's beautiful.
That's beautiful?
Yeah.
Now, let me tell you why this is beautiful. There's 100,000 people in town for the Bronner Brothers convention.
Yeah.
Be here until Tuesday evening.
Yeah.
There'll be no drunks.
No, I haven't seen any tonight.
No murders.
Not a one yet.
No drugs.
None whatsoever.
That's the black family.
That's right.
And most black folks is like that.
Most black
folks. One
folks.
day when we sit and say to America, the one thing that athletes, most of your athletes, college, professional athletes, high school athletes have in common with criminals, not lumping them together, is poverty. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Most of your criminals come from poverty-stricken areas.
That's right.
Most of your good athletes.
Come from
Now,
the same
ain't it funny that when a good black athlete comes out, they will say poverty. They'll chase O.J. Simpson back to the projects, to the ghettos.
Yeah.
They will never say these black athletes is good because of their family.
No,
But
never.
when it comes to crime, they want to tell me about the black family.
Yeah.
Now, the Italians who came here and ran that whole mafioso thing, they weren't millionaires. They was poverty-stricken
Italians, right.
Now, we looked at 4 Godfather movies. We've been hearing about the mafia, and nobody ever said that they're in the mafia because the Italian family broke down.
No.
The Irish Catholics that came, that caught hell, that came through poverty and Hell's Kitchen and all that, nobody ever said that it was the family. The Jews, when they came through Tammany Hall, the Jews ran all of the opium dens. They ran all of the vices, okay? The police, I mean, if you saw it and see the things, there's a very good book out called The History of Jews in America. If you see what the police chief in New York said about Jews, you would thought you was listening to them talk about black folks today. But nobody ever said it was because the Jewish family had broken down.
No,
they have never blamed Hitler and them Nazis on the breakdown of a family. So I don't know why we as black folks tolerate them talking about our family.
Mm-hmm.
The black family is here.
That's right.
All right?
That's right.
And so somewhere when we stop and think, and we have to stop apologizing to a system. Now, I wake up this morning, yesterday, and I found out there's a school in Alabama burnt to the ground. Now, let me tell you something. If that was a black school, and black folks was clowning because white folks was coming into it, and that school burnt down, every black person in that area would have been indicted today.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And so when you sit and look, now I say that to say, when you talk about O.J., people say, well, why do you have to inject race into it? Well, let's look at it. Dr. Kevorkian, the suicide doctor,
mm-hmm.
in Detroit, Michigan,
mm-hmm.
had he been black, he would have went to the electric chair after he killed him first 2 old white ladies.
Long time ago.
Okay, so let's don't play no game. When we looked at that highway scene that Friday with O.J.,
mm-hmm.
and thousands of white folks on the highway cheering him on, those weren't black folks.
No, they were not.
Had they been black folks, we'd have been reading some of the dirtiest editorials in white paper about what's wrong with the black family, and every black leader would have been called to give a statement, and most of them would have been silly enough and
try
that they had to give a statement.
And they would even try, yeah.
But the fact that they was white folks, they sit around and they said, well, you know what? That's the way you react when a hero have fallen.
Yeah.
I woke up one morning in the Midwest, a white dude went in the post office and shot everything he could see.
Yeah.
Before that evening, another white dude in California had did the same thing in the post office on the eve. They blamed it on stress and management.
That's right.
So
So if it had been black man, what would he done?
It been black.
Yeah.
They said the black family broke down. We can't tolerate this. Every time I look at the post office, white folk go and shoot it up. And I keep saying, how heavy is a stamp, man?
Yeah.
I mean, how heavy is a letter?
Yeah.
And so somewhere we have to understand that when we sit and watch the news, I looked, June the 6th was a sad day in my life. Because as a little boy back home, growing up, World War II, I remember all the black folks were sitting around the radio listening for V-Day.
Mm-hmm.
All right? And what they call it, V-something day.
Yeah.
All right? The invasion of Normandy.
Yeah.
Why was black folks listening? Because our loved ones was over there.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, they hit that beach first because they was the ones in the mines. They had to go sweep the mines before the white boys could come in. All right?
Yeah, it had already been swept when we got
At the
there.
end of the evening, when the blacks went to bury they dead at Omaha Beach, the white Americans told them, not here. All right? Now, 50 years later, we all sitting at television, and you saw not one black person
Got
there.
one black.
But I saw them hugging German ex-Nazis and drinking champagne, talking about we forgive you. How long? How long?
How long? That's right.
And then stop and think. If my daddy had been killed during World War II,
Mm-hmm.
all right, the same German that could have killed my daddy can come to my daddy's country tonight and live and work where I can't work.
That's right.
And yet they,
That's right.
a system, and even black folks get reduced down to the level of saying, well, you know, we can't blame it on this. Every problem we have in this country is because of racism, and every problem women have in this country stems from sexism. And you can play all the games you want. If the Jews in Germany hadn't played games, Hitler didn't just go from behaving to acting a fool overnight. You could see it coming, but everybody keep putting it off and keep putting it off and talking about pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You got to face. I mean, I can't believe that I'm here in Georgia tonight, and Alabama that got rid of their Confederate flag, but Georgia haven't.
Has Alabama gotten rid of the Confederate flag?
Yes. And I don't have no problem with that. You know what I have?
Well, I don't either.
You know what I have a problem with?
Right.
That the fact that the black folks and the decent white folk won't come together and say, we're going to ask our African brothers and sisters not to come here for the Olympic Games. All right?
There's
Under
another
those
way.
insults. And you know what happened there? Because you got a little county here that voted against gays, and they took all the Olympic festivities away, right?
That's Cobb County.
All right? Because of money.
Yeah.
Now, how is it we can have our white brothers and sisters punish you economically
Yeah.
for insulting them, but black folks can sit and take these insults and let our black brothers and sisters and
Do nothing about it.
white athletes come here from all over the world under that insult?
That's another way, too.
Yes.
Black folk take all the money out the white bank.
Oh, my goodness.
You ever thought about that?
Yeah, I thought about it.
Let black folk go downtown here, and this is where the most of the black money is,
White folks, I didn't say that. He did.
and take all the damn money they got in them banks out.
White folks, he said that. I didn't. He said that.
Well, not better than that.
I want you to see what we look like now, because I...
Better than that, Dick. Listen.
Yes.
If we could get just the black preachers to stop putting the congregation's money in the white banks on Monday morning. If we could just get them not to put any in there, they do away with that damn flag.
Well, you see, one of the things we do, we seem to blame the preacher, but the preacher works for me, and the preacher will do no more than what I...
That ain't necessarily true.
Yes, it is.
No, not here. These preachers do what they want to do.
No, I didn't say that.
Oh, okay. What'd you say?
Whose money is that they putting in the bank? Their money or mine?
They're putting yours in there.
Okay, so then when you start putting the burden on me and take it off that preacher, then things might change.
Yeah, it could be all right. Yeah.
Then things might change.
Yeah.
Because they've been in the same pattern they have been in for a long time.
All these years.
The strength in that black church is unparalleled.
That's right.
All right?
If you could get the preachers to think alike and to do what everybody do.
But the reason is because it's always been the people. When white folks wouldn't give us no schools, it was the church, the black church, that opened up black colleges.
Yeah.
And let me tell you how powerful those black colleges were. If you had to write down a list right now of 100 of world-renowned African Americans, 98 of them would be a product of the black colleges, not Harvard.
That's right.
Yale.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, predominantly black college.
And so when you think about what the people have been able to do when the leadership is there through them, the church dictates.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the whole piece changes.
Yeah.
And that's what we have to say to young folks. The young folks that's coming up now.
All right. We got a break.
All right.
Be right back. Thank you for being with us. Dick, let's talk some more.
Yes.
OJ.
Yes.
Is OJ...
Y'all got to drink 8 glasses of water every day.
All right.
And when it gets real hot in the summertime, y'all got all that rain I sent you, didn't you?
Yeah.
And it gets real hot in the summertime, celery, that stalk of celery, that sodium, it'll lower your body temperature about 10 degrees. Especially you older folks out there. Kool-Aid won't work, beer won't work, okay? Orange juice, lemonade, nothing takes the place of water but water.
Oh, I know what the makers would say. Where's this juice all the athletes drink?
That don't work.
I know it doesn't.
It don't work.
But a lot of people think that it does.
Because you see, once I drink water, it goes directly into the bloodstream. Once I drink anything else, it got to go through the digestive system.
Right.
It goes right in.
Who killed O.J.? I mean, who killed O.J.'s wife and that lady?
CIA.
The CIA?
The CIA hit, yeah. Commandos. We did it in Vietnam. You saw movies. You remember you used to go see the old German movies? And they had captured some Americans.
Yeah.
And like say they captured you, but you had a lot of information. So the commandos had orders to go in and rescue you.
Yeah.
And then the next scene you saw a German guard, and they did what? Slit his throat, right? Went over that fence, killed everybody, brought you out in 4 minutes. Whoever killed those people are trained killers. They kill before. When they ain't killing, they rehearsing, and they love to kill. They are as good as killing as O.J. used to be in football. Now, I'm not saying O.J. or anyone else wouldn't kill somebody, because I don't know them. But that's not the type of killing you get because a man is mad at his wife. All right? And let me tell you something else they ain't talking about. That boy that was killed. You know, Ron Goldman.
The waiter.
They found his penis off and stuck in his mouth, and both her breasts was off. Okay? Now, see, they feeding us what they want us to.
Oh, now that has never been in the news.
Well, that's why you bring me on the show, ain't it?
Yeah, because I want to find out.
That's what you bring me on the show, right?
His penis was cut off, stuck in his
mouth.
Oh, that's gangman stuff, man.
No, not gangland. See, the thing that keeps it from being gangland is this. This is the original picture of O.J. when he was arrested. All right?
Okay.
They want white folks to believe that a black criminal is a black male. So Time magazine blackened it up for him.
They catching a whole lot of hell about that, too.
See the difference?
Yeah, a whole lot of difference.
This one here is the original picture. This is the one. But now they made a mistake in here. Okay? They always make a mistake. On page 32, right?
32, yeah.
There's a picture of O.J. Simpson at the funeral.
And his kids.
And his kids.
Right.
Now, if you look, you see he have on something like a green, dark green suit.
Yeah.
Looks almost black.
And the tie.
But what color is the tie? Look at the tie.
The tie is a striped green.
Striped green?
By the color of the suit.
What color shirt?
White.
And what's he got on his eyes?
Shades.
Now, Time magazine, right?
Yep.
No, this ain't me saying this.
Yeah.
Now, this top caption here, what's that caption say?
Grieving family. You want me to read it?
Yes.
All right.
Grieving family.
Grieving family at his ex-wife funeral. O.J. here with Sydney and Justin. His children by Nicole.
Hold it now. Hold it. Here it is. Can y'all see that? Right there?
I don't know.
All right, there's O.J.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
Where's that? Now, on the next page, what color suit is that he have on? What color tie? What color shirt? What kind of sunglasses?
Well, he has on the same tie.
Same suit?
Yeah, I believe, yeah.
All right, now read that caption there, and this will change your life, son.
The decoy. The press assumed Simpson was this man returning from the funeral, shielded by bodyguards. Instead, O.J. had been whisked away to Encino.
All right, now, Time magazine runs a story. There are two O.J. Simpsons. This is the real one here. This is the decoy here. And nobody is asking questions. How many decoys did they have? Was it a decoy that got on the plane and went to Chicago? Was it a decoy that bought the knife? You saw one witness that said a block from the house, she saw O.J. hollering and cussing at people in traffic. Was that O.J. or was that the decoy?
Well, now, these two fellows are the same.
They are not.
But they got on the same clothes.
That's because they are decoys. All right? So then we saying, who is O.J.? And how can Time magazine run this story and don't ask the same question that I'm asking? If this is O.J. and this one's not, now, it said bodyguards, right?
Yeah.
Now, look at those two old white men. Now, do you know anybody gonna hire two old white men for bodyguards? They look like what? Government agents, right?
Yeah, they do.
Now, if you look at, what's that paper there? New York Post.
Yeah.
All right? See this here? This is the same picture. See the head there bowed down?
Yeah.
Now, for the first time, they tell us who that white man is. Who is he?
George and White beat case. Don't blame me.
No, right here. Right here.
The real thing?
Yes.
Sergeant Dennis Shebenik or something, moonlighting as a bodyguard, escorts a man who may or may not be O.J.
Now,
Simpson.
let's ask this question. You got a cop, Shebenik, who's been on the LAPD 25 years. He is a detective. How in the world can I be in Atlanta, Georgia, okay, suspected of a homicide and still able to hire a 25-year-old veteran Atlanta cop to be my bodyguard? I mean, that's a conflict of interest.
Can't do it.
All right, now the story gets kind of mean, man, because now they go on to say here, what's it say, where did he get his license?
This says
right here, on this side. License?
Shebenik took out a California license to run a security guard firm, Custom Protective Services. In 1989, according to state records, the firm has an office in Torrance where an answering service takes the call.
Now hold it right there. Here's a cop that runs an escort service, right? And they just have answering service. Now, I want you all to listen, because what you fixing to read right now is mean. What's it say underneath that?
Shebenik told me he trained for his new career in a hush-hush camp in Virginia while on vacation.
If he trained for his job at a hush-hush camp in Virginia,
FBI, CIA.
that is CIA. All right?
Right.
Now, somewhere, no other paper has ran this. The LA Times, the New York Times, the Washington Post have not said, who are these two white men here?
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's look at something else. Let's go back to the suicide letter. Remember that Friday when they read O.J.'s suicide letter when he was out in the car and they thought he was going to take his life? I want to tell y'all something, especially white folks. When a black man write a letter, 99% of the time, that type of letter, he talks about his mother and to his mother and not about his children. White folks talk about their children, but not to their mother. Whoever wrote that letter was white. Now, let's look at O.J.'s mother. She came to town for the funeral, right?
Yeah.
Now, we know something about black mothers. Black mothers, I don't care what your child will do, especially the boy, they will be with you if it means death to them, right?
Exactly.
That woman saw so horrified her so bad, she left town that day. They had to put her in the hospital, and you haven't heard one word from her.
Not a one word.
That's not the attitude of a black mother.
It is not.
All right?
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about racism. Here's 4 cops find the body, and out of these cops, 4 of them decide homicide. They're going to go by O.J.'s house. 4 cops. Now, let me tell you something. Here in Atlanta, in every city, there's people who murder people all the time, and children is not touched. They have a special division that comes and take care of them children.
That's right.
Homicide cops do not have to do that.
They do not.
All right. Now we find out that this cop who found the glove. Now, CBS did something. They went back and took Furman. And in his testimony, he said those gloves, he was talking about at the scene. He slipped and said those gloves at the scene. Didn't say one glove. Now, we find out later that the same cop who found the bloody glove at O.J.'s house, and you know what bothers me, and I don't say this facetious, I don't know too much about police work, but I know if I put my fingerprint here, it'll show, right?
Right.
I assume if I put my fingerprint there, or on your shoes, right?
Yeah.
I assume if I put some damn gloves on, ain't my fingerprint's gonna be inside them gloves.
Yeah.
How come they're not talking about that? You understand? I mean, they talking about they found some gloves that O.J. Now maybe it wouldn't be, and I don't say this, I don't know, but I'm saying with my limited knowledge of this type of investigation, it seemed like if I had my hand in some gloves, you're gonna find some kind of prints of mine.
Some kind of prints
in those gloves,
especially if you got blood on your hand.
And yet nobody's talking about it. Now let's talk about racism for a minute. They now tell us the cop that found the glove had a past history of racism. Don't white folk, don't get upset. Don't, oh, hold it, wait a minute. Don't get upset now. I'm gonna straighten this up for you.
All right.
All right? They said first, and these are records that they've got, that when he was in the Army, he said he cannot tolerate taking orders from niggers and Mexicans. And he got out the Army. All right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he had some mental problems. They claimed that some said he was faking. But now let's switch it around. Let's switch it around to the woman that was murdered was black, the man that was murdered was black, and the athlete who they arrested is white. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's no way in the world that a white athlete, that a black detective could have jumped over his fence and violated the Fourth Amendment.
Mm-hmm.
That wouldn't stand up. But now let's forget that for a minute. Let's look at Furman, who has a record of saying on his military records that he will not tolerate taking orders from niggers or Mexicans. Now, let's switch it around. The woman that was murdered is black, the man is black, and the athlete is white. And we find out that the black detective that found the glove, we found out back in the 60s, he was a black Muslim, and they got a tape where he was saying all white folks is redneck, cracker, devils, redneck, they criminals, and all of them need to be in jail. Tell me what would the press be talking about?
Hey, don't tell it.
Now we go to court, and the judge that they picked, his wife's a detective, a cop.
Yeah.
Now, wait a minute now. When the judge go in, the list that he got to pick for, this judge's name is not even on it. Did you know that?
No,
He wasn't supposed to be one of the judges. Plus, he said he wouldn't take it if they gave it to him. They reached over all of these 9 judges, picked him. Now, let's go back. If O.J. Simpson was a white athlete, people was killed was black, and you had a cop a black cop who had been a black Muslim, and a tape where he said all white folks is blue-eyed devils, all of them need to be in jail, they're criminals, and they're going to never change. There's no way in the world a black judge could pick a black judge whose wife was a black cop.
No way.
So what is this game about? Y'all, I mean, give me a break, all right? There's more to this than they telling us. 95 million people. Did you see the chase on the highway?
Yeah.
95 million people looked at it, right?
Well, that really wasn't a chase. They were just following him.
Yeah, that came out. Did you see the movie Thelma and Louise?
No.
Well, Thelma and Louise, it was right out that scene. They was following.
Yeah.
Now, let's watch this. He's out in the car, all right, for 5 hours, all right? He got a gun.
They say.
They say.
I tell you what, before you go into that, we'll come right back.
Don't keep me too long because I got the gun to my head.
No, you don't pull the trigger. We'll be right back. Clinic. You know anything about these fellows that straighten your back up and...
Chiropractors.
Chiropractors.
Man, that's the best thing going. You serious?
I was thinking to talk about the Sparling Clinic.
Oh, yes. My son is coming here to go to chiropractic college in September.
He is?
Yes.
You believe in it?
Oh, that's all I go see.
That's all I go to see?
Yes, and they take care of business now.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, yeah,
the Sparling Clinic takes you, too. You heard what the man said. You on his diet. Every time you see me, you were talking about, what did Dick Gregory say about that rice? Remember what Dick Gregory says about chiropractic. see the spinal clinic. They can help you. All right, Dick.
We take it a step further than that. All of you out there that's tried everything and it don't work, go see a chiropractor.
Yeah.
And don't let nobody tell you about they jerk your head. It take 600 pounds of pressure to break your neck.
That's about right.
If your neck broke now,
it ain't gonna be.
Just sit there and drink a fearful Scotch. Yeah, man, I'm driving drunk. Yeah, I ain't going to see no chiropractor.
Crack my neck.
You know, they asked me.
What?
One of the networks said, you know, Mr. Gregory, you've been fasting for about 30 years. What do your doctor say? I said, my doctor been dead 27 years. So where we going? We going back to the gun. He got the gun.
Yeah, he got the gun to his head.
To his head. Now, 95 million people watched it.
Right.
But 95 million people didn't see but one person in that car. So why are you going to let somebody tell you it was two people in the car when your own eyes didn't see but one?
And that was the driver.
That was the driver. Now, he pulled up into the house, remember?
Yeah.
O.J.'s son ran out. But a hand reached out and pushed him away.
Right. That's right.
What wasn't in that car that didn't see?
I don't know.
All right. Now, two cops ran out and grabbed the son, right?
Right.
Now, I want you police to hear me. If you, as a cop, is staked out at O.J.'s house, and for 5 hours you heard that here's a man in a car with a pistol to his head, he's suicidal, why would them two cops run out and grab him without being shielded? Okay?
Yeah.
Now, they waited till it got dark. Then they say he got a family picture, right?
Who, O.J.?
O.J. Now, what cop is going to let you out of a car after you've been known to have anything in your hand? And you see, I don't know why you police don't see through this. You look at this. If I was the dumbest cop, whole universe, I'd be insulted because even I could solve this case. Listen to what they tell me.
Well, what do you think that...
Now, let's take it.
Okay.
He gets out the car, and then they tell us he went in the house and they gave him what? A glass of OJ. Now, is that out of a Hollywood script? Is that out of a Hollywood script?
Sure it is.
Okay. Now,
Yeah.
now let's look. Here, let's take the young white dude that got killed.
Yeah.
Ron Goldman.
Right.
He worked at the restaurant.
Right.
Now, the restaurant is about 500 yards from Nicole's house.
Is that all?
Okay, now, my son knows a group of white boys from Plymouth, Massachusetts, that's kind of wealthy, finished college. They're out there hanging around trying to get into movies. They run around with Ron Goldman. Now, I'm going to tell you something that ain't nobody talking about. Ron Goldman did not leave the restaurant at 9:50 and take the glasses to Nicole's house. He went home first, all right? And one day it's going to come out the clothes that he left the restaurant in wasn't the clothes that he was murdered in. Now, let's say he leaves. We know he left the restaurant at 9:50. He went home, all right? Let's say it takes 10 minutes to get home. That's 10, right?
Right.
He showered, shaved, and got dressed. That's another 30 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Now it's 10:30, right?
Yeah.
Now 15 minutes to get back to the house. That's 11:15.
Right.
Hey, now, time don't fit. And yet, even O.J.'s lawyer, the first thing I'd do, I'd get rid of all them lawyers. Because something ain't right about them. I mean, something ain't right. Okay? They haven't even brought that up. Now, let's look at the dude that lived with him, Cato. All right? If you followed that story, that about 9:10, O.J. was getting ready to go to the airport. He borrowed $20 from him. Remember that? Because all O.J. had was a pack of $100 bills. I don't have no problem with a celebrity who don't have no change. You go into the airport to get 11:45 flight. Nothing's open. You want to tip the sky cap, okay? Mm-hmm. So you borrowed $20 from a caretaker. You got that? But now...
O.J. borrowed $20 from the caretaker.
From the caretaker.
Yeah, okay.
But now, here's where it don't make sense. He gets in a car and drives to McDonald's, all right? Now, when he gets to McDonald's, here's a man that got 11:45 flight out. It is now 9:20. You planning on murdering somebody with an appetite, okay? Not only an appetite, but you're going to go to McDonald's this late and don't know if it'll be one car or 20 cars in the line. But now when he gets to McDonald's, Cato said he borrows another $20. No. When I get to McDonald's, I can get my 100 changed. All right? So now you know he lied. Now he gets back home, and they eat. Now the limousine driver shows up. Now you know what that limousine driver said? He did not see the white Bronco. All right? Now let me tell you why this is important. The limousine driver's only been on the job for 2.5 months. That's kind of a strange assignment for you to be a celebrity status person when you only work for 2.5 months. Matter of fact, he was so new on the job, he said he got lost, and that's why early and got there 15 minutes ahead of time, because he didn't know how to get to OJ's house.
Yeah, okay.
He went from one gate to another. So he went all around the house. They asked him, did you see the white Bronco? He said no. When OJ left going to the airport, the white Bronco wasn't there. So whoever brought the white Bronco there came after they left for the airport. All right?
Yeah.
Now, let's go back to the limousine driver. He said he rang the bell and didn't get no answer.
Right.
Now he's getting worried because it's almost time to get to the flight. He said he sees this dude in the Cato in the yard. All right? But he didn't say nothing to him. Now, look, if I come by your house to pick you up, and I'm a limousine driver,
You're going to ask something?
I'm going to ask him because maybe you've already gone to the airport.
That's right.
Didn't ask him. Now, Cato said he was on the phone talking to his girlfriend. And he heard bum, bum, bum. All right? And she said, no, back up, Cato. You and I can be in L.A. tonight, right? You can be at Hilton at the airport, and I can be at Hilton downtown, right? There can be a earthquake tremor at your hotel and not at mine.
That's right.
So how somebody live in California gonna say point blank there's no earthquake, so you know they lied?
Yeah.
Now let's go to the guy who owns the restaurant. All right? He said he was sitting in the restaurant and he see the waitress go outside and bend over and pick up some glasses, and nobody asked him how you knew they was glasses from inside. She reached in and put them in an envelope. All right? Have you ever left your glasses anywhere?
Yeah.
And when you go back, you get them, right?
Sometimes.
And they ain't never pulled them out of an envelope.
Sometimes yes,
Let me
sometimes
tell you
no.
why. Let me tell you why. The one place that people leave a lot of glasses is in a rose wine. You take them out to read the menu.
Yeah.
Then you sit them down and you forget.
Right.
So the last place you can get an envelope is at a bar or a restaurant. So they take these glasses, put them in a box, and when people come, they just look, because most of the time, nobody's going to take somebody's glasses, but I don't know if they're prescription.
That's right.
Now, if they got gold and diamonds, okay? So now, when he sees her put it in the glasses, now let me tell you why I'm saying this, why this is so important. He's lying. Now let me tell you something else. You remember that 911 tapes that they played where his wife was on the phone, said, oh, kick the door in?
Yeah.
Now, no woman is going to be cool standing on the phone talking to cops on the phone when a door has been kicked in.
No.
In conversation, especially you, he wasn't talking to her. Did you know? He was talking to a guy named Keith that caught them on the couch having oral sex. And he was arguing with him about children in the house and that kind. And if you remember when she yelled and said, OJ, you'll wake up the children. And here's what they bleeped out. You wasn't worrying about them bloom children when you was out here on the couch with it boot in your mouth, okay? So now why would the press play this up as wife abuse when they know he was talking? See, this is how deep the conspiracy gets, all right? Now, if the cops can call Chicago 2,000 miles away and get a Chicago cop to go search his room, you have to have probable cause.
That's
so
it.
the Chicago cops have to have a search warrant. Now, if they can get a search warrant 2,000 miles away, how come they get a search warrant right there in L.A.?
Yeah, in L.A.
Now, once the Chicago cops got on the phone and said, yes, we found this bloody towel in the room, right? Now, if I'm in L.A. and there's a double homicide, and I call you to ask you to go search your room, and you find a bloody towel, okay? Now, let me tell you what's important about that. When you call me back to the L.A. Police Department, I have to believe now that I have my murderer, right? Even if I haven't. So the next thing you tell me, he's checked out the hotel, right? So the next thing any good cop would say, is he trying to leave the country? So the cops hit for a computer to see if he's booked on a plane, right? And they see he's coming back to L.A. How come they did that plane?
They did not have a warrant.
No, wait, listen now. They had probable cause. Remember, they had called Chicago cops and had them search his room, doctor. You have to have probable cause for that. Plus, when the cops call back and say we found a bloody towel, all right? No more probable cause than that. Why was he arrested when he got off that plane? All right? And these are questions that nobody's asking. And these are very, very important questions. You ready to take another break now? Because when you come back, we're going to talk about that ski cap.
Well, let's talk about the ski cap now, because after this, I'm going to have to let one or two of them politicians on
That's right. Well, they should be.
Yeah, okay.
You got an election coming up soon? They should
Tuesday.
be. Tuesday.
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Okay,
What
now,
about the ski cap?
you remember they talked about this bloody ski cap?
Yeah.
Now, let me tell you how important this is. Just don't write the ski cap off. If me and my wife get into a and I kill her, that's second-degree manslaughter.
Yeah.
Okay, now a ski mask that's premeditated. That's first degree California, that's the gas chamber. So the ski mask, let's say had O.J. committed suicide that Friday, we would have been told he committed suicide because he had a choice of the gas chamber or killing himself.
Mm-hmm.
All right? But he didn't commit suicide. So all at once, after them and saying it was a ski mask, which takes it from second degree to first degree capital, they said they never had. Now, if the process